All right. All right, guys. How you all doing today? My name is Morgan, and we'll be doing a presentation about identity versus perception. And this is presented by Aziza Peace.
All right, you guys. As previously mentioned by our girl Morgan, we are Aziza Peace Youth Program. And today our presentation will be focused around identity versus personality. So I know some of you are probably wondering, who is Aziza Peace? And I never heard of this program. Well, I'm about to tell you exactly who Aziza Peace is. Who are we? Aziza Peace, commonly referred to as AP, is a Baltimore-based nonprofit that primarily serves girls and LGBTQ plus youth ages 14 to 24. AP uses the arts, fashion, fitness, music, mentoring, and entertainment to address social, emotional, cultural, life, and critical thinking skills. All right, so for those who don't know AP and is new to AP and what we do, so when we do these virtual platforms and even when we're in person, we like to start the day with a nice quote and a nice motivational quote or a thought-provoking quote to get conversation going and get your mind thinking. So today's quote is mostly focused around the presentation for today of identity versus personality. The quote reads, and the quote of the day is, do they love you or the mask you put on every day? Let that sink in. Do they love you or the mask you put on every day? Hi, Ari. Welcome to the chat.
Yes, just to welcome everyone here. Thank you for popping by, Ari. Thank you for popping by, James. We appreciate you guys for supporting. And welcome to Coop. Good to see you, Coop. Glad you're here with us. Hope you enjoy our session.
So yes, again, for those who are new to the AP way and new to what we do here at AP, we like to start our sessions with a quote of the day. And today's quote is focused around the presentation of identity versus personality. And the quote of the day is, do they love you or the mask you put on every day? Right, so we're gonna slide right on into the icebreaker. I hope that quote marinated in your mind well. If you have any thoughts on that quote, please drop it down in the chat and our staff will be interacting with you there. And we're gonna slide right into the icebreaker and get this thing going.
All right, guys. So for the icebreaker today, if you could be any animal in the world, what would you be and why? So do me a favor, drop it in the chat. I'll give you guys about 45 seconds to think about that. Put it in the chat, and then we'll talk about what animal you want to be and why did you pick that animal. All right, you said an elephant. Okay, why elephant?
I think elephants are so like graceful and like wise and beautiful. And I remember my grandmother as a child, she had all these little elephant trinkets. And then my great grandmother had them too. So I was like, either one, you're a Delta, or two, you just really like elephants. So I just like, it always grew up with me. And I just thought it was like so pretty to have an elephant.
Okay. James, you said a killer whale. I'm interested to know why you said a killer whale, James.
I said killer whale because I just think they kind of cool. Like, yeah, they just like this. I just want to know how they live. Like, that's the reason I chose killer whale.
Oh, so you're interested in knowing like how they live on their day to day, huh? Okay. Tavon, you said a bear.
I chose a bear because when we think of a bear, when I think of a bear, I think of a strong species. But I also think about when other people think of a bear, they think about maybe a stuffed bear or the soft side of a bear. And I think that attaches to my life because I tend to think of myself as a strong individual, both physically and mentally. But I also and I also got some rough edges around me, but I also have a soft side as well. And I think a bear fits that.
Got you. Coop, you said a lion or elephant. Okay, so out of both of those, which one would you really want to be if you had to narrow it down to one?
I was trying to, but then I had to think about it and I couldn't get it together. So an elephant, of course, because wisdom, and they so like Ari said, majestic, and they seem to have a lot of respect across all genres, right? But then a lion, because every time you go into like the big houses or the big fancy joints, they have lion statues like at the beginning of their entrance ways and stuff like that. So people have a lot of respect for those as well.
Okay, makes sense. Got you. And then illustrate. You said a hawk. Why a hawk? Illustrate.
Look, so like I thought about it and I was like, I don't want to be a pet. Like, you know, I want to be some type of pet. And then I also was thinking like, if I'm gonna be an animal, I might as well have some animal ability that I can't as a human being. And I don't want to be walking everywhere. So I want to fly and be a hawk and fly far and fast and be a predator, not like a bird that's just gonna get eaten by a bigger bird or some other predator animal. Yeah.
Okay. I would say I want to be a dolphin. And the I think dolphins are very, very smart, and it's known that they are really smart. I think dolphins are very independent. Um, Everybody loves dolphins, and they love being in water. And I feel like my happy place is water. So I just think dolphins fit me best personally. But now let me ask this question. If someone had to describe you as an animal, what do you think people would say your animal will be? Think about that and then drop it in the chat. Okay, all right. Explain why you said that.
It either has to be a hamster or a wiener dog because like one, I'm small but I'm feisty and real playful, like the both of them. So I'm always moving around. But I think it's gonna be a wiener dog because they be, they bark and it's like, you're not I don't know. It's just they just so cute. And I'm like small and they around and they like real goofy and like wiener dogs, you could dress them up like remotes and hot dogs. And I feel like those would be costumes I would wear.
Okay.
But yeah, it definitely gets there.
Mark, please explain why you picked your animal.
Cane Corsos are large breed dogs, but they are very loyal and very lovable.
Okay.
So that's why I chose the Cane Corso, and I have one, so I know firsthand.
They're beautiful.
Okay. Illustrate a dog. What kind of dog?
I put it down in the bar. I said a chocolate lab. I'd be a chocolate
okay.
lab. You know, I think I'd be like medium size, not too big, but a little big, like loyal, smart. Like I don't want to do too much, but I could do what I need to do type thing. You know.
Okay, and then we're gonna wrap this up. So we're gonna do one more. I see hot sauce. Okay. They said a tiger. Okay. That's interesting. A tiger. All right, guys. So we're gonna go on to the next one. The next part of today, excuse me. Can you guys tell me, like, what's your thoughts on perception? Like, what is perception?
And again, for those who's just joining us, today's presentation and session is on identity versus perception.
Did somebody put in the chat? Sorry, my chat box went away.
They're dropping it now. Ari wrote, perception is what people view you as, not who you really are.
Okay. Anybody else?
I was gonna say it's how you see things.
Okay. How you see things? Anybody else want to say something before we go on to what the actual definition is? Going once, going twice. All right, guys.
All right, so let's get into this definition of perception for those who may not know or for those who may be confused about it. So perception is a belief or opinion often held by many people and based on how things seem.
So I would say that pretty much you guys were correct. I was head on with the perception thing. Um, Oftentimes I feel like oftentimes the first thing people have about you is your perception. Like how many times y'all heard your first impression may be your last impression? Like if you meet somebody and they wilding right off the bat, in your mind, you already put in your mind what you think of that person. Or sometimes, you may hear something about somebody, and based off of what you heard before you meet them, you already go into the situation with a perception of what you're about to get. And how many times have you guys ever been in a space where somebody tell you about somebody and it may be a negative? Most of the times it's negative when I have that type of perception, and then it's wrong. They tell you something negative about that person, and then you go into meeting that person and you realize like, dang, my perception was all wrong based off of what you've heard. How many of y'all can relate to that?
Definitely relate.
Okay. All right, so let's go on to the next word. What is identity? So can somebody tell me like, what does identity mean to you? Or Mark said yes, unfortunately. Identity. Coop, can you tell me like about identity? Is Coop still there? Illustrate, you want to tell us?
When I think of identity, identity is who you actually are and who you identify as. When we talk about, pronouns, and we talk about character and even perception of ourselves, that may have actually been defined by maybe not just how things have seen, but what we've actually seen. I think that's more so identity.
Okay, El, so can you just go ahead and read that next definition for us then?
For shizzle.
I think you got it head on.
All right, so when you talk about identity, guys, it's about who you are, the way you think about yourself and the way you are viewed by the world. You guys notice real key words there, you, okay, not the way the rest of the world is looking at you.
Thank you, Il. Thank you. All right, guys, so next we just got an activity. And for this activity, I think it's pretty cool because it kind of makes you do some self-reflection. So with that being said, I'm gonna request that everybody change their names to a dot or just something blank, so that we don't see your name, and then black your camera. So yeah, I muted myself instead of turning off my camera. So just go in, I'll give you guys a couple seconds to do so. And if you don't know how to do it, go right where it says mute and then more, and then press rename, and then just delete your name and then press OK.
If you're on a phone, go to participants and click on your name. And then it's gonna say a name.
And then if you have a picture,
I will have to log out.
You're okay. No, you're okay with your picture. That's what I was about to say. If you have a picture, you're good.
Ought to be interesting, Morgan.
So, this is the activity that we're about to do, guys. If I can see you, I can hear you. So everybody's gonna black their cameras and change their names. We all did that, which is good. You guys have 1 minute to think about a perception you have heard about yourself in the past. I want you to drop those into the chat box. After the minute is up, myself, Tavon, or Illustrate will read off one of the perceptions. If you guys, including ourselves, can relate to those perceptions, we will turn on the camera. After you turn your camera on, And if you want to share how that made you feel, since it's a dot, I can't just call your name. So I would ask for you all to volunteer yourselves without talking over each other to say how you felt when you heard that perception about yourself. Could you relate? Did you disagree? Were you shocked? That type of thing. So I'll give you guys 60 seconds to do so, and then we're going to come back and talk about it.
And again, we are dropping down in the chat perceptions that we've heard about ourselves that may not necessarily be true.
And I can change everyone's name on my side. So if you didn't know how to change your name on here, I'm doing it now for you.
Looks like we got some good ones coming in too, Maury.
Okay, so let's go. Wait, let me, so I can see everyone. All right, so let's start reading some of these words.
All right, so the first response that was wrote in, give me 1 second. All right, so the first responses were, someone wrote outspoken, rude, no tact, mean.
How many of you guys have heard those type of words before? You rude, you mean, you outspoken.
So again, if you can identify with those perceptions, you can turn on your camera.
Okay. All right, we got a couple cameras on. So, illustrate. How did you feel when you heard those things about you? Did you agree, disagree?
I felt like I wasn't seen or heard. I felt like they were taking the examples and things that I got, if I got examples, because a lot of times I feel like people don't even really give examples. They just give like, oh, I feel like you're this. And it's like, I need an example so I can fix it. So I feel like people haven't really like taken inventory of me, haven't really, seen and heard who I really am and what I'm really trying to give them. So they perceive it in that way. And then I feel as though I had to explain myself and try and garner this understanding from them.
Okay. That I like that you said that you feel you have to explain yourself. So you feel you have to say, oh, I'm not mean, I'm not rude, that type of thing. And then do you feel like they believe it? Because I feel like once the perception is made, they don't really hear what you say because it's that whole thing of actions speak louder than words.
Precisely. And then I feel like it's harder, like they say that, and then it's hard because it's like, so I need you to see my actions at that point.
Got you. All right. So anybody else want to share that turned their cameras on?
Sure. What we talking about?
Okay, so in the chat, you guys were supposed to write down perceptions you had of yourself. And so if you heard about yourself. So if you heard this perception before, I'm sorry, Tavon read off a perception somebody put in the chat. And if you heard somebody say that they think you're rude or mean before, um, we asked that you guys turned your cameras on. Have you heard those two perceptions about yourself before?
Yeah, in certain situations, because I got siblings, and so sometimes it's like I'll say something that I wasn't supposed to say, or I'll act in a way that like I don't usually act. So I've definitely had those perceptions been said about myself before. The way they made me feel, they made me feel kind of like upset, because it was like usually I would be told this from either my mother or my father, and those are people who I hold like close to me. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. You guys turn your cameras off. We're gonna go to another word. I'm glad that you said that, you know, it made you upset when your mother or father said it, because I often feel like when the negative perceptions come, especially from somebody that you care about, it is more impactful um, than somebody that you really don't know, especially a mom or a dad or a family member. You want them to see the best version of yourself. So I definitely can understand being upset. So the next words that I'm going to go after are not good enough, not pretty enough. If you heard either one of those words before, turn your camera on for me. All right. And so the words were not good enough, not pretty enough. Ari, do you want to share?
Yeah. So example, I guess like growing up, I heard that a lot. And now since I model, the modeling world is like more cruel. So they say like stuff that you just didn't think people would say. Like the other day, my coach told me I was getting fat and ugly and I need to work on that. And I was just like, okay. And if you tell them like that was harsh or something, they'll just be like, it's not being harsh, it's business. So I guess that just makes me like pretty wise. That kind of like messes with my confidence. And not good enough. I always hear that a lot, like, or feel that a lot, like everything I do is not enough for somebody, or they want more and I can't give them more because I already gave them as much as I have. And they'll be like, that's not enough, that's not good enough, I need more from you, I need this from you. And it's like, how much can you give a person of yourself, honestly?
Wow, thank you for sharing, Ari, because that, you know, that's a lot. And I'm sorry that you even have to go through that, especially the body shaming part, because that is a lot. Illustrate, you got your camera on, Tavon, you got your camera on. Tavon, you want to share?
So I turned my camera on because it's not a something that I hear from the public or people in my circle or people who just know of me or know me. It's something I kind of tell myself like I'm not good enough. Like it was something that I especially when I miss out on opportunities or feel like I wasn't a part of something or feel like I'm not being seen. I always not nowadays, I don't tell myself that. I kind of like switch that thinking, but I remember for a long period of time when I would miss out on opportunities or being a part of things or being seen for doing something, I would just feel like, well, maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe I'm just not worth it. But
Wow.
nowadays, those thoughts are different.
Well, thank you for sharing. I'm gonna go to the next word, okay? So you guys turn off your cameras for me. Ungrateful, uneducated, and selfish. If you felt those words before, let's turn your camera on.
How you turn the camera on?
Again, the words was ungrateful, uneducated, and selfish. Okay, so let's talk about it. If you want to share, you guys can just hot sauce. If you want to share, because I haven't really heard much from you today, can you share, please? Because your camera's on.
Hey, what am I supposed to be sharing? I just hopped back in.
Okay, so have you heard any one of those perceptions before? Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how did it make you feel? Like, was it from somebody close to you? Do you agree with it?
Yeah. Yeah. It was selfish. My mom called me selfish all my life growing up. So yeah. But she never was able to explain how I was selfish. I'm the type of person, okay, I'm selfish. Well, how? How do I show it? So I don't know. It was one of those things I just got used to hearing and just didn't care about it. I just moved on with life.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to share before I start calling on people?
I,
Me.
go ahead, Ari.
So I got called selfish a lot of time where there's that point where you're like trying to say how you feel, how a person made you feel or something, but they go around and they turn their back and say, well, that's just so selfish for you to say, even though they did something to you and they still calling you selfish for expressing your emotion and how they made you feel as a person. So it's just like, it just make you not want to even say how you feel anymore. I just want to pay it. Like most times I just don't even say how people hurt me anymore because they call me selfish. Or if you want to do something strictly for yourself and you're like, you don't want to have to share this moment with somebody. You want to be able to learn how to love yourself in this moment. You get called selfish. So it's just like, all right.
Thank you, Ari, for sharing. Can I have one more person share for me?
I just wanted to kind of add too, like I just kind of noticed like a somewhat common denominator of perceptions and like wrong perceptions. I feel like they often, while they may be people that may be close to us, they still may be people that don't really know us. And I say that because with this one, I thought about something that happened kind of recently with my mother's current husband, who I don't have like much of a relationship with. He doesn't really know me, but he's very much always kind of trying to and always trying to just put himself in that position. So he kind of, overstepped the boundary over this holiday and called me ungrateful on some stuff. And it just made me realize, like, bro, you don't even know me in a way to be able to attest to my gratefulness. And a lot of the other perceptions I've dealt with, a lot of people don't even know me to be able to attest to a lot of the perceptions that they put on me.
Thank you, Illustrate, for sharing. So the last one we're going to do about perception before we move on to identity. I'll do defensive, soft, and I seen one more that I wanted to tap on. Well, defensive, soft, and argumentative. If you felt any of those words or heard any of those perceptions, I'm sorry, turn your camera on. All right, so what's your name, sweetheart? I'm sorry. The young man that's on the call.
James?
James. Okay, thank you. James, can you share for me, please?
Sure. You said soft, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not really recent. This was like years ago, but I remember definitely being called soft, like by my father a few times when we be like play fighting. This was like when I was like 5, 7, 8 years old, so I was pretty young. And like there would be, because he didn't think he was hitting me that hard, but I was younger, so obviously the hits like hurt more than what they should have. And so he would, like, from time to time he would be like, "Oh, you soft or something? Like, why are you crying?" Um, a few years ago, actually, my cousin, we also play fight from time to time, and he called me soft because he actually ended up hitting me, and so it was a hard hit too. Like, it wasn't just like one of those normal play fight hits. It was like a real hard hit. So yeah, but yeah.
James, I can attest to that because I think a lot of, especially Black boys when they're young, um, we're kind of like forced to like not grow up quick, but kind of like forced to man up quick. And it happened to me too when I was young. Like I had a cousin that would like randomly just bang me in my chest, and I would cry, and he'd be like, "You soft for crying." I'm like, I'm 7. You banged me in my chest, like, and I think that's I just think that it's unfortunate that a lot of Black boys are forced to man up quick before their time to man up. I just think it's so unfortunate. It takes away from the innocence of the Black boy.
Definitely, I agree with that. Like even my son, like he's just a baby, and I tell people like, let him be a kid. Like you don't have boys. They have that thing where, oh, I'm so hard, I don't have to cry. It's okay to cry. Doesn't mean that you're soft. I mean, I always feel like I need a good cry. But all right, now in the chat, I want you guys to turn your cameras off, and we're going to talk about identity. How you want to be viewed by your family, friends, and loved ones. How you wish when somebody first sees you, how you would want them to view you. Y'all drop those in the chat, and I'm going to start reading them off, okay? All right, I see welcoming, hardworking, and chill. If you can relate, if you can relate to that, wanting to be viewed like that, turn your cameras on. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Ari.
I said hardworking and loving because I kind of feel like between my mom and dad, especially my mother, they always make comments as if I can't do anything on my own or be great on my own, and that I'm like lazy and like I I just don't do nothing. But I feel like if they actually took the time to know me, they know I do over 100 things a day. I just got a new job at the bank. I'm going to therapy. I'm working on opening a club here, which I got to talk to Sharon about. I run 2 clubs now. I'm the president of my modeling team, and I go to 3 modeling practice and drive 55 minutes a weekend to try to get to strut practice. And I'm still active in Aziza Peace, and I still talk to kids from the summer camp program, and I'm up on the phone at night giving them advice. So I feel like they just think I don't do nothing, but they never take the time to listen to hear what do I do. And that's just a short list of stuff I do. I'm a full-time college student and paying my own bills now, figuring out how to register, how to be homeless, and all this stuff because I'm doing all this stuff on my own. And for them to just sit and call me lazy and like call me, tell me I'm not gonna make it without them, all that stuff hurts because y'all don't even see like half of the stuff I do today. Like right now, I'm listening to this call and I was doing my homework while I was talking to you guys and completing the quiz on my iPad.
Girl, you made me tired just thinking about it.
like
we see you, and you are very hardworking. Trust me, just because you're not viewed like that by the ones that you want to view don't mean that you aren't all those things. Like I've had people tell me, like recently I started a business and I've had people already tell me, oh, it's not going to last, it's not going to work, I don't know how you're going to do this, they're going to shut you down. But if I allow those no-sayers and the people that don't believe in me to be in my ears, then I wouldn't be able to have my business. I wouldn't be able to already be exceeding the numbers that I put for myself. I surpassed my goals within the first 2 weeks. Sometimes you got to put your positive thoughts and view how you want to view yourself onto yourself before you expect anybody else to do that. I'm going to just read 2 more because we're coming close on time. So I would say a leader, positive, and determined. If those are the those are some ways that you want to be viewed, please turn your camera on. Okay, Saran, you want to talk about it?
I don't know that it is a want. It is a thing that just is. It is not optional that you see me for who I am. This is not what I do. I am a leader. I have a voice. I am a change maker. I am love. You do not have a choice but to deal with me as I am. So I don't know that it's what I want is an absolute necessity for you.
Okay. Thank you for that. I don't know what your name is, sir, but would you like to share? Yeah, you just turned your camera on. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to put my phone in the cabinet because I'm cooking. My kids are half day at school. But
Okay.
first and foremost, Miss Ari, you are amazing. So not that everybody is amazing, but that is yeoman's work. So always have some positive affirmations that you can share with yourself in the morning to get you going and throughout the day. That is a lot. That's an awful lot. But congratulations on being successful in those different things. For me, I share what Mr. Ron said. Being a leader is what you do. Being a leader is like, for some people it's natural. Some others need to, work. We all need to refine our skills, but it is humbling to be in a leadership role and to have people work alongside of you, not just follow you. So for me, I'm humbled, honored, and grateful whenever I'm put into a leadership role.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I just wanted to say something to Ari because something that Mark just said. So Ari, the list of wonderful things that you are doing, it makes my heart smile. I do want to say to you to make certain that you are doing the things because those are things you want to achieve personally and not to prove other people wrong. Do not become an overachiever because you're trying to prove to other people that you are not what they say. Embrace who you are and shine your light. And if that is all of those things you said, or if it's one thing, do them in excellence and do them in peace.
Thank you for that, Saran. I definitely agree with that for Ari. That she said it perfectly. All right, guys. So basically, just recapping today, I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for everybody that got on our call today. And if you guys want to talk more about identity versus perception or anything else for that matter, if y'all are looking for a safe space, friends, new experiences, ways to build your confidence, a judgment-free zone, look no further. AP is the place to be. And the ways you can stay connected the AP way are: first, come see us at Strut March 12th, 2022. So from 7 to 10 p.m.
Be there.
Yes, yes.
Don't miss it.
If you guys don't know, you will know. Okay, Strut 2022 is going to be amazing, not amazing, amazing. Okay, we have literally ages 3 to 20. We're not going to say that because we're not going to give our age up like that. But literally generations together, just coming together and creating a beautiful show of fashion, art, music, entertainment. We have performers. We have the best host in Baltimore. We have some of the best dancers in Baltimore that will be a part of it, and the best youth models. So please, please, please come through. If you don't have the information, we will drop some contact info before the end of our session.
Thank you. Guys, can you guys drop the information in the chat for us, please? And then also, too, guys, if you're interested in meeting with us on Wednesdays and following us on Instagram, our information is right here for you all to follow us and to stay connected with AP, the AP way. We thank you guys for this opportunity. We thank you guys for your time and for coming on today. And we look forward to seeing and hearing from you all very soon.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Bye,
Strut
guys.
9, March 12th. Strut 9, March 12th.
And thanks to our people for supporting and coming through. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, thank you, guys.
See ya.
So is this gonna be a every Wednesday thing at 12?
No.
No, this is a part of Healing Cities. So this week in Baltimore City, there's an event going on called Healing City, and today's session was a part of that.
Oh, check you guys out. That's so cool.
We had to order Sound Patrol and stuff. Oh, sorry.
All right, guys, that's our time. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a good afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.